Hello and welcome to another edition of GV Bounce. I'm Damen Francis, alongside me is Matt Galea. How are you, Matt?
Not too bad today, thanks, mate.
And we're going to go through the latest round of GV footy, the penultimate round, and we're going to start with the clash between Shepparton United and Shepparton, and the big game between the co-tenants of Deakin Reserve. You've had a look at this one. What do you think?
Oh, well, I think there's obviously a clear favourite here with Shepparton United. I mean, they're coming off a tough loss against the Swans in the first week of the split round, so hungry for a big win, and I think Quarrell's just looking for all-round improvement from his team, particularly heading into finals. For Shepparton, Tim Little just needs effort for 4 quarters, and hopefully they can keep it competitive. And you never know if they can keep it competitive for 3 quarters, 4 quarters, and then you never know what might happen, I suppose.
Yeah, United desperately need to find some form ahead of finals. They've probably been a little bit sluggish in the last sort of month or so, but finals around the corner. They'll be looking to warm up with a big bang,
for sure.
big win.
Yeah.
Seymour and Benalla is the next one we're going to look at, and this too is a massive game. Seymour just clinging on to that 6th spot. They're in pole position because they're in 6th spot, but they're only ahead on percentage of Marudna, and they just got to win.
Yeah.
Benalla are also chasing a top 2 finish, so they've got plenty to play for as well, and it's going to be an interesting clash.
I suppose it's just that time of season, isn't it? I mean, it's a common theme across most of the games this week. The team has to win, or so. Seymour definitely need the win here, and obviously some interesting news over there with the coach.
Yeah, Brent Colbert's been signed on as a playing coach next year. He'll replace Shane Robertson, who will see out the season. So Robbo will still be in charge this weekend against Benalla, and they'll be playing for him and trying to make sure that his tenure goes a little bit longer than just one season. It goes into finals as well, and they'll be pretty keen to make that happen.
Sure.
Nick Warnock back for Benalla. Exciting news. Obviously, he's a great addition. He's a big, powerful forward and key for Benalla. So they'll be hoping to get some more games out of him this season after bringing him back a little bit prematurely last time with his troublesome hamstring. So massive game of footy, and Seymour unchanged and looking pretty strong. So looking forward to that one. But I think Benalla will be good enough. But Seymour got plenty to play for.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, you never know with these teams when they're that desperate. But I think Benalla probably are the better footy side, so you probably have to go with him.
Speaking of big games, Rochester and Kyabram under lights at Kyrec Reserve on tomorrow night. Jeez, interesting clash. Rochi really starting to show some good form in recent weeks, but lost Grant Weeks, their big full forward who's been in really good form. So that's a big blow for them. But what do you think? Can Rochi get over the top of Kai?
Well, Weeks was massive last week in their win against Tats, so I think he's a massive loss. I mean, tipping this one was very tough. It's just so hard to tip against Kai Abram, unless you're from Rochester like Hannah is, I suppose. So she's gone for Rochi, but I think everyone else went for Kai, and I think that's just, it's not a knock on Rochi. I think it's just indicative of how good Kai have been and the hot streak they're on. Yeah,
well, Weeks being out is one thing, but Paul Newman will probably miss the next 2 with his osteitis pubis, which he's been battling for much of the season. So 2 full forwards down, which is a bit of a shame for the contest, because it would be great to see these 2 sides going head-to-head at full strength just before finals. But David Williams said that it's not a big deal where they go on and win the minor premiership. They're 6 points clear at the top at the moment, so looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But games against Rochi and then Tatura next week. Tough couple of weeks to finish the home and away season, but I think he's pretty happy with that, because they'll be cherry ripe when finals do roll around. So sure. I too expect quite a win, but I reckon it's going to be a great game of footy, and Rochi could be a good statement for them to make. Yeah, absolutely. Next game is between Euroa and Mansfield. Battle for 9th on the ladder. Saw Euroa last week and they were really disappointing, so they're going to be keen to bounce back. And you've had a bit of a look at Mansfield recently. What do you make of them?
Yeah, I think they just had an interesting sort of second half to the season. They're turning a lot of those 50-50 sort of results that went against them in the first half into wins, and I mean that's showing on the table. They're sort of rising up a bit, and I think a 9th place finish would be pretty fair given their second half of the season. It should be another good game, but I went for Mansfield in this one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, I think Mansfield will win as well. But pretty big rivals these 2. So both will be desperate to win. And Euroa's last home game of the season, David Gleeson spoke about that after last week's loss. They'll be pretty keen to finish off with a win.
Cool.
Tatura and Echuca is the next one, and you've had a look at this game as well. And look, there's only one winner here probably, but Can Echuca compete for 4 quarters? Well,
I mean, Tatura are a bit down on confidence at the moment. They haven't had the best run of results. I think the loss against Rochi was a bit of a knock for their confidence, and Grigg has admitted Scott Grigg has admitted he's still looking for those right combinations in the forward 50, and at the back as well. So his focus is sort of getting those right before finals. Billy Lovell comes back into the team, so that might help in that respect up forward. But yeah, his big focus was their defensive spread and kicking to advantage in forward 50. So you'll think they'll have plenty of the ball to work on those sort of things on Saturday. Sorry. So yeah, it'd be an interesting game, but Tatura surely will win that one.
Yeah, Lee Owen not back. We thought he would be named this week, so a bit of a surprise to see him still out of the side. He's been battling injury for quite a long time, so they'll be desperate to get him back in the side when they can, hopefully next week before finals. But yeah, like you said, Tatura a bit to work on, and Echuka obviously just playing for pride at this point.
Yeah.
And lastly, Sunday's massive clash. I'm very jealous that Mark's managed to pinch this game, but Mooroopna and Shepparton Swans over at Princess Park. Huge game.
Yep.
Swans simply have to win to keep their finals hopes alive. Mooroopna pretty much have to win. So this is a huge game for these two teams that are both outside the six that desperately trying to sneak in.
Yeah, and a battle of Mark's two big loves in Dan Lewis and Dan Lovick. So that'll be very interesting to see.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic clash between those two. It was in round one, and it's going to be again, no doubt. Who are you picking?
I think I went with the Swans in the end. So yeah, I just think that they'll just replicate what they did in round one. Although that was a long time ago, so you never know, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the Swans too. They've been playing some really good footy, but it's hard to discount a team like Mooroopna with guys like Dan Lewis in there. They're obviously so very exciting, and Mark Blake in the ruck as well. And
yeah,
going to be a great game. Looking forward to that one as well. So that just about does it for this week. Get along to your local footy. There's some really red hot games this weekend.